This is Kanzenshuu, the podcast, episode 446 for the week of June 17th, 2018. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Kanzenshuu,
the podcast,
an extension of the all-encompassing Dragon Ball fan site.
Kanzenshuu.
Yes, we cover anything and everything Dragon Ball in hopes of enlightening and a little bit of entertaining. Now that it's June and the show's been over for a while and everyone has stopped talking about it, it's time to talk about Dragon Ball Super again. Yay, Dragon Ball Super! Everyone remember when that was a thing that was on television for a couple years?
Yeah.
I sure remember. Joining me to talk about a completely unbiased, scientific, factual ranking of the Dragon Ball Super ending themes. There is no debate about it. Don't at me. Randy, hello.
Hi there.
It's been a while. Was it seriously the last time when we did Legends? And I can't say Legends anymore because Legends is the name of a game now.
Yeah, that was my most annoyed part about that game. Was like, oh, now I got to differentiate. But yeah, that is the last time.
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
And then joining us as well to, again, scientifically, unbiasedly rank the Dragon Ball Super ending theme, Stacy. Hello, Sailor Spaz.
Hello.
Man, so I'm going to hold off. We're not going to jump into it yet. There's lots of cool stuff to talk about first. I'm going to keep everyone, including these two. They don't know what the rankings are. We'll get to it. I have a couple of very brief things I want to talk about before we get to our topic, so you'll just have to stay tuned. First, let's talk brief little news. So E3 happened, and there were video games. Fighters on Switch, everyone acts surprised.
Oh no, who knew?
I didn't hear anything because I don't follow video game news.
Well, guess what, Stacey? Dragon Ball FighterZ is coming to Nintendo Switch.
Wow!
Boom.
Amazing! Mind blown.
I don't think there's a whole lot to say about that. We kind of expected it. ArcSys has been working with that engine on the Switch now with the cross battle of the characters from the other games in the one game, so we knew it could run over there, and yep, it's coming out there at some point this year. Jump Force. Randy.
Yeah.
Jump Force.
I know. It's hard for me to get excited, but I'm going to try and give it the benefit of the doubt. I mean, things could only go up from J-Stars, right?
No. Have you seen the Jump Force debut trailer?
Yeah, I have. But I hear what you're saying, and that's the impression I got. But I mean, I'll give it time. I'll see what other people say. Maybe get it myself. Probably not. I mean, I said the same thing about J-Stars, but, you know.
Here's the thing for Jump Force is it's clearly their attempt to do what they did with J-Stars, which is going to be about 5 years in between because J-Stars is for the 45th anniversary. This is for the 50th anniversary of Jump. That was a celebration of the Jump brand with the Jump stages and similar to what they did with Superstars and Ultimate Stars on TS. This is, hey, everyone's in America and throughout the world now. This really feels like their attempt to, all right, we're going to make a Jump game for the Americans now. I feel like, well, you've lost part of the point of why we like this is that it's not fighting with the American flag and Statue of Liberty behind us.
Right. Yeah, it's awkward, but I mean, I guess they have to try something different so that way you're not just, oh, it's the same thing again, but still it's the same thing. Yeah,
you would say this is J-Stars. We just played this 5 years ago. I don't know. J-Stars, as janky as it was, it had so many cool things about it. I loved the fact that it was a truly custom soundtrack that you can do in that game, at least on the PS3 version, where you could import your own MP3s to be stage specific. You know, I imported all the karaoke versions of all my favorite anime songs and put them in there. I doubt we're going to have something like that. And it's just more of the Spike Chunsoft models and plastic figures. Oh, I just can't get excited about it. I can't get angry about it, but I can't get excited about it either. I'm feeling very empty on the inside, guys.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. I mean, like, while I was watching some videos before we started recording to make sure that I knew things, I'm like, man, what even is this music? It's like this quote unquote epic, like orchestral stuff. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't feel like any of the show. And yeah, very plastic looking. I mean, the textures for like clothing, like, okay, they're going for realistic, but why do they have Play-Doh hair then? Like, why can't
right.
they just go, it's a go 100% or not? It's weird. I don't know.
Yeah, the aesthetic sure is what it is. It's very early right now. It looks flashy. The concerns seem to be around the frame rate and motion blurring. It's still very early though. That kind of stuff can be worked on over time. So Jump Force is Jump Force is a game that will exist at some point, and sure, we'll talk about it as more characters are announced and as it comes out. And how truly bizarre to have a crossover game announced with Goku, Luffy, Naruto, Frieza. That's that thing they do.
Just the normal thing. Just right. And I mean, they didn't even go with like Boruto, like something that's current. I don't know. I mean, I guess Dragon Ball isn't super current. Well, super manga, I guess. But
yeah. And Frieza makes sense for that too. Yeah. Sure. All right, so those are video game things. Not a whole lot to talk about, and that's why we didn't do an entire episode about E3 thing, is because what the hell can you really say about it this year? So with all that fun out of the way, let's have the true, no, it's actually not fun, it's science, Dragon Ball Super ending themes ranked. Here we go. All right, so the way that we do rankings here on Kanzenshuu is we assign point values. There are 11 ending themes, so each individual person here has ranked them with their top performing ending theme being assigned 11 points, and then downward from there. So the least favorite gets 1 point. We total up all of those points individually, and we arrive at, as I said, a scientific figure that cannot be argued against because it is indeed fact. And so the folks I'm talking to have no idea what the numbers are. They know what their own individual numbers are. And I think over time we may have divulged some of our feelings about some of these songs to each other. But we don't know the true final facts. Let's just get into it.
All right, I'm ready.
I'm excited to see this one as the least favorite song, and that's Lagrima by 1 pixel in the bottom spot. It kind of wasn't even close here. What can we truly say about Lagrima?
It is there, and I'm kind of sad that this is the one they decided to cap the series off with. I mean,
what it went out with. I know. I want to talk about lyrics a little bit. I primarily looked at the lyrics in the TV size version. Stacey, from your standpoint, you can actually just listen to the songs and understand what everyone's saying, unless they have some strange accents, or as we get to perhaps something like fried rice music down the way, we can talk about the lyrics there. Excuse me, notice how it's not at the bottom of the list, Stacey, just saying here. Anyway.
Yeah.
Lagrima, the lyrics are just, they're just kind of there. It's a song that's not really saying anything, as we'll hear in a lot of these songs. They're kind of vague relationship songs, which we've certainly had before in something like GT. But Lagrima is just kind of nothing. Yeah,
that was kind of my feelings about it. It wasn't my personal bottom ranked, but it was very close to the bottom, and it's just kind of a nothing song, really. Yep. I mean, it was only a couple of months ago that it was airing, and I can't really even remember it. Mm-hmm. So to me, that's kind of like a sign that, okay, if it's not memorable, then it's not really.
For sure.
Yeah, that's basically how I felt there too. It wasn't memorable, and yeah, just a whole lot of nothing, like a fluff song, if anything else.
Especially in the series itself, we had the Ultimate Battle song that was so hot-blooded and all that. So compared to like something like that, that's the song you're going to remember much more than this other song.
Yeah, up against that, especially when we were getting Ultimate Battle literally every episode, or at least every other episode at this point in the series.
Maybe it got a little overkill of that one, but it was still heart pumping every time you heard it.
Like we said, to go out on this one, a little bit of a bummer. All right, so I guess we'll just have to move on to the next one. And while this is indeed science, I can at the same time say that both of you are wrong. We have Forever Dreaming, Checo No Republic down here at the number 10 spot, I suppose. Okay, so sell me on the not selling this song because I had it midway on my list.
So if I had to say anything is if we're going to be judging things on like lyrics and creativity, Whoa over and over again isn't really selling you on a really good catchy jam.
Yeah. But you remember it's very anthemic, I think.
I suppose, but I mean, if like I'm going, whenever I judge these songs, it's by what am I going to jam to in the car and try and sing along, because I don't know Japanese, but I'm going to be a fool to myself, and that's okay. And this one isn't it, and also if it's using as an ending theme, the animation is meh, like just exciting wise, like all right, he's on Kintoon and Dragon Balls smack together. I
don't, but you get that like sound. I love it.
That's the satisfying part, and it's
balls,
0.2 seconds.
So what you're saying, Randy, is yes, you appreciate the balls in the song. All right.
Yes, exactly. That's the important part for me. Thank you. I'll be going now.
Stacey, you didn't have it very high up either. Clearly.
No. Yeah, it was more like, whoa, no. It was another one like Lagrima that I kind of found forgettable, but some parts were also slightly annoying to me. So like the repeated whoa, it got annoying after a while. So that's why it didn't rank very high for me. And then I didn't really find it fun to sing along with. So that's why it didn't rank high for me.
Oh, what a bummer. I really liked Oh Yeah in Kai. I think Czech Republic, at least on our list here, is the first group or band that's got a reappearance from either earlier in the show or previous show. They had, like I said, Oh Yeah and Kai. I just like the different kind of instrumentation. It's a little bit more electronic-y while being poppy, while having a little bit of a rock flair. I like it, but I can't argue against the science.
Science has proven you wrong.
Absolutely. I will continue to rage against the science here with the next track selection. I'm so bummed. I had this so high up, and you guys did not. Fried rice music is down here.
I hate it so much. It's my least favorite. Well, maybe, I don't know if all of Dragon Ball endings, but it's close to the bottom of all Dragon Ball endings for me.
Okay, well then you're going to have to no-sell me on the selling here, or sell me on the no. I don't know. I'm so angry that I'm off in my own land here.
Well, before the song even came out, there was like a promotional blurb from the band about what their inspiration and stuff was for the song, and they mentioned Zenkai Power, which is another song that I don't like. So I kind of knew from before that if they're taking inspiration from a song I don't like, I'm probably not going to like this one either.
Stacey, can I fire you? Like, am I allowed to do that?
Hey man, it's science. You can't.
I don't think Dragon Ball opinions are a protected class here in the States. So,
damn it!
I mean, okay,
I lost my Kanzen job.
I don't hate it, so I want to say that. Like, for me, it was a little higher up. It was still in the bottom ranks, but I don't hate it. Initially, I wasn't super sold on it. I was just like, okay, we've got some counting, and it's fun and poppy. I like fun and poppy. I won't say that I dislike that, but it's good. I still like to listen to it, but it's just not the best, because I think that we've got some really good ones, and I probably helped throw off the scales, or maybe we didn't, and Mike's just wrong, and that's okay. He can be wrong.
Yeah, I also I don't know, like the counting and just naming foods and stuff, it was just kind of...
How is that not quintessential Dragon Ball?
It is, and it's fun.
Is it?
But there's better ones.
It's like Zenkai Power, which I said I didn't like either. And then, like, I have a Chinese friend who said, dude, that's, like, just super racist. They're just, like, saying random Chinese words and numbers. It's like, the equivalent of just... just, like, saying random stuff like, hey, look, I'm speaking Chinese for real, but you're just saying random words.
It did kind of feel that way.
And the English version, I haven't actually heard the full version yet. I think they cut a lot of that out, because when they're airing it on Toonami, they air an extremely truncated version of it. So I don't even know what they did with it, but basically I remember they just go, 1, 2, 3, I'm hungry. They don't have any Chinese in it, so I wonder if they decided, this seems a little problematic. Let's just translate it to English.
I like the Zenkai Power illusions. We even get the Monsta that we get from Zenkai Power. Like, I see where they were going with it. I appreciate that someone tried something different in Dragon Ball Super ending themes. I may be wrong, but I can sleep well at night knowing that I am in fact right. So the next song we have on the list here, this is going to be a group that we're going to hear again from, a little bit down the list here. We had Far Away, Haruka from Lacko Tower down in the bottom 4 here. This is just I just don't like it.
But I guess I was the weird one.
Oh, did you pull that one up?
That one was my number 4 pick. So I guess I'm the weirdo there. I don't know. When I think back about it, I'm like, the Laco Tower songs I don't think were super great. But then sitting down to listen, I'm like, oh no, these are my jams. So really? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Haruka Far Away is just, it's fun to sing along to. I don't know. It's I don't know exactly how to explain it because it's not super Dragon Ball-ish, like...
No, well, that's the thing, is that this song is kind of about a lost relationship, which is literally what their other song is about, too. And even some of the other Dragon Ball Super songs, it's just the same song again from them. And it's not just that they had 2 songs, they also had a writing credit on another song in Dragon Ball Super. Get Laco Tower out of my Dragon Ball Super.
Well, I guess then you can be happy that I was the one that was wrong here, and that I've got the deck stack against me. But I don't know, it's just fun, and I kind of dig them. Like, maybe they could get different lyric writers, but I genuinely like their melodies. So, it's whatever. I understand. I can get why it's weird.
For me, Haruka was kind of middle of the pack. I do enjoy listening to it, but it's not like one that I go back to as much as some other songs that I like sing in the car as I'm driving to work. I might skip it a bit more than... I'll skip it less than the ones I really don't like, but I'll skip it more than ones that are totally my jams. But I did really like their other song. Spoiler alert, but...
We'll get to it. Hold on tight.
Yeah. Yeah. So after that one, after I really liked that one, this one was a little bit disappointing because I didn't like it as much, but it was still, I guess I do like their lyrical style and their melodies. So I still enjoyed the song, but it was more middle of the pack.
Well, let me ask you guys this then. Laco Tower is the only group that within Super itself we had to come back and do a second song. Was that nice to have? I mean, it sounds like you guys are okay with the song. Even if you did like the song, would you have appreciated maybe hearing a different voice?
That's a good point. It might have been nice to try somebody new, but then again, we try that and we get stuff like Lagrima. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm the weird one, and I like them. And I'm like, if we do another series after this, I'd like to see them come back. But I also wouldn't cry about it if we didn't.
I would personally like to hear more from them, just based on how much I guess, collectively liked their songs that they put out in Super. But I would also be fine with the record companies giving other new bands a chance, as they usually do.
Right. All right. That takes us actually to 2 songs, because we have our first tie here in the scientific data. We have a tie actually between what I guess you can consider the 2 straight up rock songs in different ways. We have an Evil Angel and Righteous Devil by the Collectors, and then we also have by a 70 centimeter square window by Rotten Grafty. Because it's in all caps, so you have to make sure you say it that way.
You must scream it.
Absolutely. Very curious. This ended up right here in the middle of our list, and going by the points, that pans out because the points are all over the place between these 2 songs. They're either at opposite ends or they're effectively identical between all of us here. So we can kind of talk about them as a group, maybe what you liked about one, what you didn't like about the other. Evil Angel, for me, this feels like almost a classic Rocky kind of song. It's got this rockabilly vibe to it. I thought it was very, very different. I enjoyed it for that. This is one of those songs where the ending animation really speaks to and helps the song, I think. Very different. The panning up on the manga panels, I thought it was a really great inclusion from an older band as well. Someone who's not just the flavor of the week from Columbia here. Collectors have been around for a while, and to have someone like that pop up in Dragon Ball, I was excited for that. Tell me about the Collectors from y'all's perspective then. Randy, man, not so much, huh?
So I was the one that put this with my lowest score for the whole ranking. Wow. And like I said, I kind of ranked these on what I would like to jam to in the car. And this is too low tempo for me. Okay. So I was like, okay, this is probably my bottom. I will say it's a great song to use as an ending for Dragon Ball because it worked really well for everything and relating to the story. And the ending animation is probably my number one, so I felt really bad putting this at the bottom.
All right, as long as you feel bad about it.
I do. I feel very bad, so there's guilt involved. It's okay there. But yeah, it's just too slow for me, and I can appreciate it, but yeah, it's I just can't sing along to it in the car, and that's going to be my justification.
Yeah, I had it kind of middle of the pack, but slightly below the other song that's ranked the same, 70 square window. I can't. It's a hard title to say. 70 centimeter square window. I think when the Evil Angel Righteous Devil first came out, it was kind of one of my higher ones, but then as we got more songs, I guess it kind of slid down the list a bit, because I ended up liking other songs better as we got more, or even some of the songs that came before it later ended up ranking higher than it, just because on repeated listens, I just ended up gravitating towards other songs more. I also, I was bitter that the ending animation, despite the lyrics being a perfect fit, did not feature any black or Zamasu. It's like, the song lyrics are totally them, but it's like, they didn't appear in the ending at all, so I was slightly bitter.
That is a crime, I will say. So, you know what? I might have less guilt now knowing that.
Yeah, so see? They shunned my boys.
And hey, at least this one is like the most scientific, right? Because it was all across the board and it ended up right where it's supposed to be.
I mean, if you can have more or less within science, I suppose you can phrase it that way.
This is max science.
Let's talk about 70 centimeter then. This is, it's effectively the same ranking for all of us, which places it directly in the middle here. I think that makes sense. I like it just because, you know me, I kind of gravitate towards the rock songs more than anything else. I love the nostalgic visuals of the ending theme, but just the song itself, it was something that had a lot of power to it, and that was different from some of the power we got elsewhere, even in some of the other rock songs. I'm going to consider Hello, Hello, Hello kind of like almost a pop punk kind of song in ways, more maybe like power pop, and we'll get to that song at some point. But this one just felt like that. All right, I will take some hard guitars and drumming. I'm ready for that. And this is where it fell in my list. And I think that's apt.
Yeah, I would say interesting thing, when I was putting together my list, I sat down and I listened to everything once, and I wrote my list, and then I sat down and I listened to everything again. And that's my turn. See if I can not screw this up. By a 70 centimeter square window.
No, Randy wins.
Score. It went up the list as I listened to these. I'm like, okay, you know what?
Nice.
I like this. And it kind of ended up at the top of my, I don't really know how I feel things, because my first few, I'm like, yes, these are locked in. These are great. I'm not changing these. So it climbed up there, and yeah, I really like it. I like the rock sensibility it's got to it. And I'll say the ending animation, I'm always a sucker in later parts of the series when we're like, all right, here's young Goku from the beginning of the series. I'm like, oh, my heart, there we go. It's fine. Everything will be okay. So yeah, it grew on me, and I liked it. And it's different than my other choosings, because it's not, all the other ones aren't as rock-y, but it's great. I love it.
Yeah, I do also enjoy the rock songs generally, so the rock and roll that the kids are into these days. So this one, it's kind of like upper mid-tier for me. I feel like if I had more chance to listen to it, it might rank higher, because this is one that's not on the CDs that, well, at least I think as a single, but it's not on that compilation of endings that came out, which is where I'm listening to most of these songs. So I'm kind of disappointed I don't have a way to listen to it other than like going online. But yeah, I think if I listen to it more, it might jump up the list. But I did enjoy, like, that has the kind of a little bit, not hard rock, but like some parts of it gets a little bit more into it, like in the chorus part of it. So I enjoyed that, and I would like to listen to it more and have it on a future, another release that they'll probably do where they include all of the songs this time.
So that's a good sad point, is that the theme song collection they put out does not have the last two ending themes. Those, however, did get their own individual CD singles, so you can, as Mike would do, make his own collection and have them all together, and even rearrange the track order to make the perfect compilation, because I'm allowed to do that. It's 2018.
That's true.
All right, so next up on the list, actually only by a single point here, Starring Star by Key Talk makes it up the list. This is another one where actually, Randy, you're the outlier here.
Dang it.
Stacey and I gave it the exact same ranking. So, Randy, you got to sell us on Starring Star here.
Yeah, what's so great about this?
So, I don't know. It's just very nice and uplifting. I mean, so I'm going to admit, I didn't check the lyrics on a lot of these. And I don't, like I said, I don't speak Japanese. So
Look, Randy.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say about the lyrics in any of these songs.
I figured as much, but I just also wanted to get that out there in case someone's like, well, you didn't realize that this one is an allusion to this. I'm like, okay, hold on.
I mean,
I didn't know.
This one's a little bit different from most of the others, which are relationship songs. This is, as a different song is that we'll talk about later. This is talking about childhood reminiscence, which I think works. I think fits here.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think that helps into it being more uplifting because Goku's story is very uplifting and fun. We all want to join along with it. And since it was like our second ending, I've listened to it a lot and it's just kind of, it's rooted in deep. So I'm like, yes, this is definitely up there for some of my favorite Dragon Ball songs that there are so far.
You know, I'm just not a fan of the vocals here. He's really straining to hit those notes, and they don't sound like they're hard notes to hit, so I don't know what the problem is.
I'm a bad singer, so I guess I'm like, he's trying, man. Good for him.
He's doing his best. Yeah, I found it kind of forgettable, so that's why it didn't rank very high for me.
Yeah.
I mean, the chorus was kind of like this, the starring star, na na na. That part was okay. The rest of it was like, it's not that compelling.
If there's like one part of that song that like hooked me, it's the Hajimaru story part.
Yes.
Like just that rhythm. I'm like, oh. Yeah, that one I was like, okay, yep, you got me here, and I had to get it as soon as it came out because I'm like, I got to jam to this. It's so great.
It's also, I know those words. I can say those.
Yep, that's exactly it. You know, I can hit
see
those
right
ones.
Through you, man.
Oh, dang it, man, I'm see-through. This sucks.
All right, so on the flip side, Stacey, you got to sell us Lacko Tower's back.
Oh, yes. Okay, now it's up to me to sell it because this is my absolute favorite. It's hard. I don't know. I just really, really enjoyed the melody and the lyrics and then the visuals with the sakura petals flowing by.
Look, all right. I'm typecasting you here, but you just know that over on the side, Goku Black and Zamasu were totally making out here, right?
Yes!
I'll draw that later. It'll be great. I'll just have this song on loop to inspire me.
It's perfect. It's perfect for that. They used it too soon.
Yes, exactly. That was before the Black arc, right?
Yeah, this is pretty early. This is the third ending theme, so we would have just been into.
Yeah. So it was before their time. Maybe they could have been featured in that ending if it'd come at the right time.
Look, even I would have enjoyed it more if we had that. I'm going to give me something to latch onto here. But seriously, this is another one. Lacko Tower, kind of like Key Talk. I feel like he is stretching a little bit for some of those notes, and I feel like I have nothing to grab onto here.
That piano is pretty great.
It's decent, but it's another lost relationship song, and I've heard a few of these.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I don't know. Especially once I listened to like the full version of it after I got CDs that allowed me to do so. Yeah. Like, there's just parts of it where like just like builds and like bah.
Yes.
So I feel like the long version or the full version of it has a bit more, and that's what I'm always like singing in the car as I'm driving.
See, I think that's another good point about these songs is that, we get the TV versions that we would hear for like 3 weeks at a time. They all do have full-length versions, and they're all legally available for purchase. And they do often go in different directions. They'll have like a mellow breakdown in the second verse, something like that, and they'll come back after the bridge. And traditional pop structure, but it really works for a lot of these songs. And while I don't love it, I do agree with you on the structure of this song. And if I were more a fan of it, I would like it more. That makes sense, right? Those are totally words that...
I would like things more if I just liked them.
I don't know what my problem is.
It's science. This is all science.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's just go on to the next song. In the number 3 spot, I suppose, is Yoka Yoka Dance.
Yes, okay. Whew, I'm glad that I was like, man, I'm going to put this up near the top of my list, and I'm going to be really sad if this ends up at the bottom.
So this song could have gone in many directions. We had AKB before in our Dragon Ball, and this didn't quite go that direction. Right. This was definitely more self-aware and more fun. And if you're going by TV version only lyrics, this is actually the first, if the only, explicitly Dragon Ball related song. We get talk about Kamehameha and being a Saiyan. So in that respect, like, this is actually the most Dragon Ball song of the 11.
That's true.
Yes. Yeah, I really like this song. It's up near my top ranking ones. I don't know, it's just really fun and peppy, which I know it's in contrast to Fried Rice Music, which is also, I guess, fun and peppy. This one works better for me, and especially of the idol songs that we got with AKB48 and Momoiro Clover Z. Right. This is definitely, I think, the top of the inserting idols into my Dragon Ball thing.
Yeah, it's in that same vein as Fried Rice Music, but I think this one just does a lot better job at associating itself with Dragon Ball and being fun, and I can bounce along to it. It's good.
The curious thing about this song is what we get in the TV version is actually like the second verse, I think it is. So we get a much later portion of the song. Maybe they went with that for the Dragon Ball references there as well. I agree. I think this song is a little bit all over the place. Every time it starts, I'm like, wait, what song is that? Oh, right.
Yeah, because the full version starts off very differently. So it's like, wait, is that? Oh, it is Yoko Yoko Dance. It doesn't really sound like it, but okay, now they're getting to that part. Okay. And I think the visuals I also really like on this song. Yeah, I think it's my favorite ending visuals.
I think it may be. Yeah, it's going to be the number one animation ending. It's just the pans are always good. I think it allows them to show more things without having to animate at times. I mean, yeah, you still have to draw all the characters as they go along the side, but they do some of my favorite kind of like motion graphic-y techniques, with just the expanding colors and the shapes. I love that stuff.
And we just had so many people doing Jocko's pose. How could you not love it?
I know.
It's great.
It's good stuff.
It's a really cute song, and it's another one that I really like singing along to in the car.
I think this is one that everyone can sing along to. You just have to sit there and go, okay.
Yeah, at least that part. Some of the other parts are more tricky. Like, they have some fast lyrics at some parts, so I kind of had to go over them a few times even to like, okay, but I
think we just need Stacey to sing every song. I think that's
like, you don't need to put in samples. I'll just do them all.
All right, so we are down to our final two. We have two songs left on the list. And again, you can't argue with science. We have a tie for first place for the two songs. I wasn't expecting it, but I think this is good. We have a tie between Hello, Hello, Hello by Good Morning America and Boogie Back by Miyu Inoue. I agree with the science here. I think these two are the quintessential Dragon Ball Super ending themes. Good Morning America making a reprise from Dragon Ball Kai, where they had Dear Zarathustra. Actually, they kicked off the Buu arc there, and they kick off Dragon Ball Super over here. Hello, Hello, Hello is a childhood reminiscent song, which would be followed up by some other songs later. I think it was a great band, a great choice to kick off Dragon Ball Super. It was a little bit familiar if you're watching along with the Japanese version of Kai, which the international audience didn't get. So I suppose the only way you followed along with it is if you pirated it. Well, that's Dragon Ball fans. Anyway, so that was that. And then Boogie Back was an electronic-y, poppy kind of song, but has like a little bit of sorrow in it along with being happy. And it, I think, retroactively got some love with the passing of Hiromi Suru. This was a song that focused in its animation entirely on her, looking at her and her friends and her family, and that ending shot just kind of brings tears to your eyes here midway through 2018. Randy, tell me about Hello, Hello, Hello. You had this kind of like in the middle-ish for you.
Yeah, it was, I think, like my number 5, just because I had my top 4 were pretty solid, and Hello, Hello, Hello was when it was introduced, when we started the series, I'm like, okay, they've made some good choices. I loved Dear Zarathustra. So I was excited that we were getting another song from them. Yeah, it's great. And I love the animation. It really tugs at the heartstrings of like that Dragon Ball is just all of these friends that we've made along the way, and we're all getting along great. And the nostalgia part of, just following along Goku on his journey. And the song was just really good, and it matched the visuals. It matched the feelings that I get when I think about Dragon Ball. It's just excellent. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I think their lyrics are the least vague while being the most open to interpretation. They're talking about when we're kids and everyone has their different colored backpacks. What color would I choose and where would I be running to? Like, something about that just speaks to me. I don't know. I feel like these are the only lyrics that really transcended languages for me here. Stacey, you had this pretty high up too.
Yeah, I had it as my number 2. So I kind of agree with what Randy said. Like, I really liked Dear Zarathustra from Kai, so I was excited to hear another Good Morning America song. And unlike Lako Tower, where their second song was kind of a disappointment and compared to the first that I really liked, I really liked Hello, Hello, Hello. I'm not sure which of their 2 Dragon Ball songs I like better. They're both really high up on. I really enjoy just the way it sounds, and I don't know, it's like how to explain it more in depth. It's like, I like the melody and lyrics, like as I said with other songs.
It's science, it's like, because I like
it because science.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about Boogie Back. Randy, you have this as your number 1, and Stacey and I were kind of right behind you there.
Okay, good. I feel good about that. I also feel kind of good that it got to tie for number 1 because I put Hello, Hello, Hello lower than everybody else. So I fixed that. I'm ensured that we're in the best timeline.
Thank you.
Your opinions are fact.
It's you're right. I liked the electronic vibe to it, and we've got some good sorrowfulness to it. And I think, that was kind of echoed when we lost Hiro Mitsuru. And I don't know, it's fun. I love singing along to it. Also, again, because it's got English words, so I can just belt out Boogie Back in the car.
But even the Japanese there is very clearly enunciated, which I think helps plebs like us to try to sing along with it.
Right, I would say that's a lot of it too. It's just it's very clear, and we can sync up with it. It's good times, and yeah, like it's good to see Bulma get some focus, and like we don't see her point of view enough, I think, especially since we started the series with her. She was in from episode 1, so seeing that is nice, and it was during an arc where she's not even around.
Right.
Yeah, I got a very strong like 90s vibe from the song, which is totally my jam. So eternally running in the 90s I am.
we're all at that exact age group where they hit us right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, only 90s kids will remember. But I also liked the kind of callback to the visuals with Bulma, like romantic ageryo.
Yes.
He's kind of sitting around in different places. Like, that was a nice throwback, I think. And yeah, it's just a kind of a fun melody, but as you guys mentioned, it's a little bit sadness tinted to it. Even without Hiro Mitsuru's passing, it was kind of a slightly melancholy song, but also peppy at the same time. So it has everything. It has electronics, it has 90s, it has happiness, it has sadness, it has English words you can yell out.
So it's Dragon Ball. As much as Fried Rice music is Dragon Ball, I think Boogie Back is at the other end of being Dragon Ball.
It's lodged itself deep in my Kokoro.
There you go.
Weeb.
Well, there we have it. The completely unbiased scientific factual list of the top 11, because there's only 11, Dragon Ball Super ending themes. Randy, you initially wanted to do the top 10, and I was like, wait, well, we need to wait a little bit.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? That's fair. We can do a top 11. It's unconventional, but hey, now we can cover all of it.
Except if the show happens to come back and they decide to call it Dragon Ball Super still. I don't know. I'm not saying I know anything. I'm saying that is a distinct possibility. That's a thing they could do. I doubt they're going to do that, but who knows? Maybe it'll come back. I doubt it.
We'll call it Super S.
Super.
There we go.
And then there will be 20, 30 years of, do we call it Super S or do we call it Supers?
Yep.
Forever just confused on that one.
If you read the katakana, it says Supazu.
Look, I know this. I'm just saying for all the other people out there who may not know this.
Yeah.
The one with the pedophile unicorn is Supers.
Yeah. I don't know if people even know that we're talking about Sailor Moon now, because we didn't actually say that.
Right. Well, if they're 90s kids like us.
Yeah, they'll remember.
Look, the target audience for Kanzenshuu is people over the age of 30 now. So I think we're good. All right. So that was that list. I guess let's bring the episode to a close. Stacey, I do want to ask you a little bit about, I was hoping to post this today, but I'm probably going to end up doing it tomorrow. You did wrap up your first long form translation for Kanzenshuu. Hooray. I'm so excited.
Hooray. I'm doing stuff like 2 months after I was announced.
It's all good. I mean, we all take months, if not years, to do our project. So
yeah, I had also May was very busy with Kamehakan and another vacation that I went on. So yeah, it's like
you had stuff going on. Tell me a little bit about it. It's an interview actually that was pointed out to us on Twitter. Somehow we missed it. I'm so appreciative. I don't have the name in front of me, but I'll note it when we post it. An interview with Kazuhiko Torishima. Torishima has been the source of amazing information recently over the last couple of years. I'm constantly referring to that interview he did with Forbes. I think this is going to be another good piece to that puzzle. What are some of the little things Torishima is talking about in this interview?
Yeah, when I first picked this interview to translate, I kind of just like, okay, something Torishima, whatever. It ended up not being too much about Dragon Ball specifically, but it does have a lot of interesting information about like how Jump runs, basically. Yeah. He has a lot of inside info about how the environment in the editorial department, which sounds like really awful back in the days.
But that's the kind of stuff that I do want us to cover is, all right, not just what literally was Dragon Ball and when did it come out, but what was the culture of the time? What led to it being created the way it was? What led to it succeeding the way it did? And Torishima comes in here and talks about the popularity polls and what the office atmosphere was like, and kind of the bureaucratic bullshit that he had to cut through to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah, it's interesting. We get a different view of Torishima, because when you're first just looking at Dragon Ball stuff, you're getting it all from Toriyama's perspective. So you see him as like this evil guy who just rejects all of his manuscripts.
He's literally Mashirito.
Yes, he's literally a villain. But once you see his perspective, I mean, you see that he actually had, like, he was like, I guess, pretty innovative guy. Like, he was trying to do different things that other people were saying, oh, you shouldn't do that. You should just keep doing, what we've always done. Well, he's like, screw you guys. I'm going to do other things too and add more, because I see the era that's coming. This is what it's going to be like.
He can take credit for, Dragon Quest?
Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, I found that guy. I was like, I discovered Toriyama. I discovered this other guy. Psh, whatever.
So this is going to be coming to the site relatively soon. Hopefully, by the time you listen to this, I will have it up, so I'll drop a link. It was in February 2018 that this was on Asahi. So we'll be posting it up. So, Stacey, thanks so much for grabbing it. There's plenty of other stuff to tackle. We're chatting about maybe what we want to do. Also, whatever interests you the most. I find those are... kind of the best ways to approach things at times is whatever you take a personal interest in. So I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited. Waku waku doki doki.
Randy, what's going on with you these days? You got any streams or anything?
I don't have much going on. Last time when I was on, I pimped Two Gay Guys Play, which is a Let's Play channel that my husband and I do. It's been on hiatus since Super Mario Odyssey. I don't know. It's hard to do stuff like that and put videos up every day.
You can just end it at it's hard to do stuff, like, period. I understand it entirely.
Yeah. Yeah, but you've been going on longer. I did things for like 2 years and I'm like, man, I am done. Forget this. So yeah, not too much other than just me on Twitter at Saber_Breaker. And I tweet things and naked Goku sometimes. So there's that.
Yes,
that's true.
I was going to mention you follow him for lewds.
I try not to keep it too weird because I know that there are other people follow me for other reasons, and I don't want to be like, here's a dick in your timeline. Enjoy that.
I'm looking at work like, all right, there's a monkey ass. All right, moving on.
See, I keep that in mind. Like, oh man, what if Mike sees this while he's at work? Oh man, this is gonna be bad. Oh, I feel bad. Oh no. But
oh no, I'm gonna post it anyway though.
You should be working, not on Twitter. I mean, I do the same thing.
I don't understand the difference.
Yeah, no, same, exactly.
All right, so we'll leave it there. www.kanzenshuu.com. That is kanzenshuu.com. That's the website that's in your ears and can be in your eyes, and we'll leave it at those orifices for now. Future projects, who knows? All different directions, all different places. What is going on? I talked to you two, and we're going.
We're bad influences.
Bad or best? I'm not entirely sure. So
you decide.
That's the site. Those are the peeps. I think that is going to bring it to a close. So we'll see you next time here on Kanzenshuu, the podcast. Everyone have a lovely day, lovely week. See you next time. Bye-bye.